Eugene finally has enough money for a down payment on a house. He goes to ask for a loan and gets denied. He's confused on why the bank denied him. Oh, Eugene, you have bad credit. The bank doesn't trust you with their money. Apollo, on the other hand, the bank gives him the best interest rates and loan him a significant amount of money. Thanks to Apollo's good credit, that has taught him how to cheat the system and grow his wealth. We should all strive to be more like Apollo. My parents would always tell me how credit cards were bad, how it was better to stay out of debt, this and that. And they believed that the only way for somebody to increase their credit was if you were to go get a car payment or a mortgage. And I thought that was very weird. So I started really researching, and I would see a lot of finance gurus tell me the opposite. They would tell me get a credit card as soon as you can. As soon as you turn 18, get a credit card. And my parents were telling me the opposite. They were telling me to stay away from debt, stay away from credit cards, that they were dangerous, that I would get myself in a hole if I was to use them. But credit cards is like, it's a double-edged sword. If you don't know how to use it, you could go put yourself into debt. I saw how to increase your credit score, and I actually took a credit card out. It was a secured credit card, and in 6 to 8 months, I had over 700 credit score. So I'm gonna teach you how to increase your credit score and how to even achieve that perfect score. In order to get a perfect credit score, you gotta know what goes into having a credit score. So credit scores are usually, they're 3-digit numbers. They range anywhere from 300 to 850. Anything below 670 is bad credit. So we're trying to achieve everything above 670, but we're trying to achieve that excellent credit score, which is 800 and up, 850. So you can get the best interest rates and the best loans possible. So we're going to start with what you should be focused on. I believe these next 2 tips I'm going to give you, if you focus on just those 2, that will dramatically increase your credit score. And you will at least have good credit when you focus on these 2 things. The first one is going to be payment history, which accounts to 35% of your credit, of what goes into your credit. So your payment history is how often you pay your bill. And if you have any late payments, that will be accounted on there. So make sure you pay your payments every month. Don't forget. You can even set up automatic payments, and they can help you out. So you got to pay your bill. You got to pay your bills full by full. Don't pay the minimum balance. Pay it by full. Pay the outstanding balance if you're really trying to increase your credit score. Don't give any late payments, and pay it full. Just remember, never carry a balance. Because if you carry a balance, if you start paying the minimum, you would dig yourself into debt. You really would. That's where that double-edged sword comes in. If you use credit cards as good or as bad. So know how to use it. Pay your debt full. Never carry a balance, and don't waste any money that you don't have. If you don't have it in your checkings, you should not be wasting it in your credit. Credit utilization, which accounts to 30% of what goes into your credit. So credit utilization is how much money you actually use. If you have $100, they give you a credit card with $100. The bank sees how much of the money that they have loaned you, how much money you actually use. So if they give you $100 credit limit on your credit card and you use $90, that's 90% of your credit utilization that you already used. When dealing with credit utilization, you gotta try to keep your utilization under 30%. I usually try to strive lower than 30% because the lower the better. The lower the utilization rate you use, the higher usually their credit score goes. So I try to stay under 10%. So if I gave $100, I would only spend $10 for that month. And once I pay it off, I could get another $10 to spend. So try to keep your utilization as low as possible. If you just focus on your payment history, it's credit utilization, which accounts to 30% of what goes into your credit. So credit utilization is how much money you actually use. If you have $100, they give you a credit card with $100. The bank sees how much of the money that they have loaned you, how much money you actually use. So if they give you $100 credit limit on your credit card and you use $90, that's 90% of your credit utilization that you already used. When dealing with credit utilization, you gotta try to keep your utilization under 30%. I usually try to strive lower than 30% because the lower the better. The lower the utilization rate you use, the higher usually the credit score goes. So I try to stay under 10%. So if I gave $100, I would only spend $10 for that month. And once I pay it off, I could get another $10 to spend. So try to keep your utilization as low as possible. If you just focus on your payment history and your credit utilization, that right there counts as 65% of your grade, of your FICO credit score grade. So if you focus on those two things, you will easily achieve a 700 plus credit score. So that right there accounts to 65%. Now going on to number 3 is your credit history, which accounts to 15% of your credit score. Credit history is very, very important. And of course, when you first start out, you can't really achieve this 15% added on to your credit score, but it's something good to build on with time. When you have your first credit line, let's say with time you start getting more credit lines or whatever, that credit line, your first credit card, you might not use it anymore. It might just be gathering dust or in your wallet. And most of y'all are going to want to cancel it. Make sure you don't cancel it because you have your credit history in that card. If you cancel it, it will hurt your credit history because all the history you have in that card will be deleted. So make sure any old credit card, even though you don't use it, you don't necessarily need to use it unless if it has a annual payment. I mean, that goes down to your choices, right? Or you can always downgrade it to another card. Don't cancel any old credit cards you might have. If you don't use it, you can even cut up the card. It doesn't matter. As long as you keep that account open, that history will still be there and it will boost up your credit score. Going to number 4 is credit mix, which makes 10% of your credit score. Credit mix is the type of credits you have in your under your name. You can have credit cards, car loans, mortgages. The more diverse you have, the better. It will increase your credit score because the bank will see that you know how to manage different type of credit lines, which is beneficiary for you because they can see that you're actually responsible enough. Going to number 5, credit inquiries. This makes 10% of your credit score. Credit inquiries is any hard inquiry that they have done in your account. When banks check your credit score, that will count as a hard inquiry. There's hard inquiries and soft inquiries. Soft inquiries don't affect your credit score. It's a glimpse of your credit score. It's not an accurate representation of your credit score. It's a little glimpse. Like when you go to Credit Karma or any of those credit apps, those usually do soft checks. So when you do a soft check, it won't pop up on your credit score. If you do hard checks, those will pop up on your credit score. So you gotta be strategic on applying for credit cards because once you apply for credit card or loans and they run hard check, that will come up on your credit score. But usually they will erase over time. Over time, those will erase. It only counts to 10%. It's not much, but it's still something if you want to achieve that perfect credit score. So that your credit score doesn't get so damaged, it's good to apply strategically. I usually, when I want to apply for credit cards, I usually have a 6-month window. So every 6 months, if I see a good deal on a credit card, I will apply on it. If it's not between 6 months, try to keep a gap of 6 months. If not, it will show a lot of hard increase into your credit, and you generally try to avoid those. Those are the 5 things that go into generally what accounts to your credit score. So remember that if you focus just on your payment history and your credit utilization, that right there will really help your credit score out. And I believe those are the 2 most important. Especially payment history. If you have any late payments, that will hurt your credit score so bad. That's why I always tell y'all, don't waste any money that you don't have. If you don't have it on your checkings, don't put it on your credit. And use less than 30% of your utilization so it could really boost up them scores. And like always, y'all stay on the grind.